know if you guys can hear me or not. We'll start shortly. Yep. We will start shortly. All right, guys, we'll start shortly. Everybody, hang out, hang tight. We'll start shortly. Welcome to the stream, guys. And sorry for the silence, guys. I will start shortly. All right, guys, give me a second. We will start shortly. Thank you guys for your patience. I'll be starting shortly, guys. Hang tight. Okay. Can you guys confirm you can hear me? Test one, test one. Can you guys hear me? Testing 1 2 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. How about now? How about now? How about now? Oh, you can? Okay. Thank you, Tomato. I appreciate it. Thank you. I was just about to leave. Hello, Sarah. How are you guys doing? Hope all is well, guys. Good. Good to hear. Good to hear. All right. So, some announcements, guys. It's a spontaneous class. It's an impromptu class. Probably going to be a short class, depending on your engagement. If you guys don't have answers, don't want to answer, I'm going to move on to the next question. That is what I will do. And the class will be over. So it's ultimately up to you guys if you guys want to participate in the class. All right. So, there are two things here I want to show you guys. All right, there is a YouTube live. Can you guys hear me still? Noah, Sarah, Tomato, can you hear me? Thank you. Please tell Rena to verify. Okay, cool. All right, guys, there's two links. And also another thing I want to share as well is I think it's under cloud, I think. I think it's under here. If not, then it must be under something else. I want to also show you guys some channels you guys can go to. I just want to kind of get that out of the way before you guys cry about wanting to know English. So I wanted to get that out of the way. So first of all, guys, it is live, and you guys can watch it live. If you gotta leave early, you gotta leave early. If you gotta come late, you come late. Also, I do have a private link. If you do want VIP classes, you can book me personally, and I'll be yours to your need or to your needs. Also, if you can't afford me, you can go to one of the links here. In the Discord, serious, beginning, chill, general, proofreading, pronunciation, resource, English question, programming, the works. You got an amount of channels you can go to if you guys need help in the Discord. If you need me personally, you can book me. If you miss the live, you can watch the live afterwards, before. You can even rewind. The world is at your fingertips, guys. So all you gotta do is, hello Sarah, thank you for chatting in. Thank you. You're an optimist. That's awesome. I'm kind of like an optimist too. I'm not necessarily a realist. I'm kind of a mix though. I mix myself between being an optimist and a realist. So thank you so much for the chats, guys. I have a poll, guys, in the live. Please, realist is someone who doesn't think about what ifs. A realist is the reality. Someone who only thinks about being real. Who's reality, right? Hermione, I think Vivek will appreciate you for boosting the server. Thank you for supporting Vivek and his Discord. Thank you. I'm gonna tag. I don't know if they shout you out or something, but I'm sure you appreciate it. All right, I did tag them. Hermione, thank you so much for supporting them. I'm sure they really appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Sure, Hermione, you can book a class. I don't get paid, but if you want to book me, go for it. You go to any of the channels I gave you above, Hermione. You can get help that way. I don't get paid. Just so you know, I don't get paid. But if you need me personally, you can book me. Scroll up, click the link, and book. But I don't get anything from Boost at all. But you are supporting the server. That's what you're supporting, not me. Anyways, let's get on with the questions, guys. I want to get right to the topic. We're talking about being a realist or optimist, and we're talking about which one we are and how we live. So let's talk about this. All right. So your first question is, the first question we have is, do you consider yourself to be more of an optimist or, nope, just in time, sweet tooth. Do you consider yourself more of an optimist or a realist? All right, that is our main question. And then followed up by, let me get that in here. And I will type the question this way. Crush me. All right. So, do you consider yourself to be more of an optimist or a realist? All right, let me see if this will work. All right. Do you consider yourself to be more of an optimist or a realist? All right. Optimist or realist? Optimist or realist? What do you guys think? Optimist, optimist, optimist. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the stage now. You guys can come up at your will, and I would love to hear from you, and I would love to hear you explain. Optimist is someone like kind of sees things like what could be or maybe not be, like someone who doesn't think realistically. It's the opposite of someone who thinks realistically. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to bring up Tomato right
A little bit about term. So, optimistic is about believe in the future, I suppose, believe in the best outcome.
E-
But
Pretty
in
much,
general,
yeah.
the realistic is looking as right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
pretty
sometimes
much.
I feel like realistic is related to premise, and something.
We're just talking about optimism and realistic and optimistic. Pretty much, you got that spot on. So, realistic is someone who thinks about the now, the present, what's happening at this moment. Optimistic is like what could happen in the future. But people who are optimistic think about what's going to happen in the future, whereas a realist is thinking about the now. What do I got to do now to make money, rather than what can I do in the future to make money? That's basically what it is. So as I pasted in here, so do you consider yourself, Tomato, to be more of an optimist or realist? Have you?
I consider myself optimistic because I think being believe that everything will sort it out relieve me a lot from the stress, right? It's like yeah, I have did the right things or I make a right move if I do it because I believe it. Everything will happen and I will learn my lesson. Meanwhile, I have if I'm realist, I have to read things and try to make a good decision.
Okay. All right. Very well. And have you always been that way, or has your mindset changed over time? Were you once a realist, or were you always optimistic?
I don't think ever realism, but I haven't been optimism my whole life. I usually just think I have very bad experience with people, and so I'm very anxiety. So I guess I'm more afraid that if I say something wrong, they will kill me and
Mm-hmm.
banish me from the society. But right now, I think it's okay to just make a mistake.
Yeah. And my last question to this part is: do you think people who are born optimistic or realistic? Do you think people are born optimistic or realistic, or is it shaped by experience?
It's shared by experience because I heard a lot of people change their opinions on things like so. I think if people born that way, people should stay the same, but people change, therefore it must be shaped by something, and I think it's because experience.
Yeah. So, is it shaped by the way they live, or are they born that way, or does it just depend on experience?
You mean born that way? Is mean
Like
that
someone
everyone
who
born
is
that
like
way
five,
believe
6 years old is always thinking about the future, whereas maybe a 5 or 6 year old is always thinking about the now. It's a semi rhetorical question. Like, do you think people are born optimistic or realistic, or do you think it's shaped by experience? Maybe they grow up in a family who's very realistic and they end up becoming optimistic when they move out, or vice versa. They're very optimistic and they grow up after they leave, they end up becoming realistic. That's all I'm asking. So, is it shaped by their experience on if they're brought up to feel optimistic or realistic, or is it are they born that way? Personally, I think it's shaped by their experience. I don't think one is born to be one or the other.
I agree it's just by experience too,
Okay. Yeah.
because some yeah okay then
Okay. Thank you for
go ahead
sharing
yeah.
that. I appreciate it. I want to go through, hang out if you want, Tomato, and anyone else who wants to come on up can come up. I'm just gonna kind of read some of the comments here. Someone says, I'll come back to you, Spider Me Woman. I don't know what you're trying to say, but I'll come back to your question. Andrew says, realists see things as they are, making calculated decisions based on facts. They avoid false hope, but may sometimes miss out on bold opportunities. Yep. Realist Sweet Tooth says, Andrew talks about optimist being in the best possible outcome, which helps them stay motivated and takes risks. However, they might overlook potential pitfalls. Bruno says he is an optimist. Noah says he doesn't know, but I think he understands now. Sarah says it depends, I guess. Okay. Phoenix is realist. Kareen says it depends. Sweet says I think I'm optimist. Noah says it depends. Depends. Sweet Tooth. Karen. All right, got through them all. Anyone else want to share their 2 bits, their 2 cents about this, guys? And again, if you guys are just joining, we're talking about optimism and realism. Which side are you more for? Not really for, but which kind of belief system do you have there? Are you an optimist or a realist? You guys can come up on stage. The stage is open. Otherwise, it's going to be like Tomato has a private class. And 23 of you don't want to come up and speak. So with that said, Tomato, I'm going to go into the next question. And you may get an opportunity to answer the second one. If no one else chooses. Oh, Sweet Tooth is coming up. Sorry to give your hopes up, Tomato. Sweet is on. Sweet Tooth, what's up? Go ahead and give us your 2 cents and explain your answer. You said you think you're both, or you're more optimistic, or it depends. You seem like you're on the fence. Optimist, okay.
I yes, because I believe in possibilities and solution. Like it always gives me motivation to going on, still going on, no matter what happens.
So does it depend on what the situation is, where you're thinking realistically or when you're thinking optimistically?
I always want to thinking optimist. Uh,
Yeah, and that's kind of where my mind frame is as well. Is to think that way. And so the second part, I wish I had a copy and paster. Can someone, guys, go through and copy my question again? So it can be set, so I don't have to keep scrolling up. I'll copy it again, I guess. There we go. So, Tomato beat you to it. So have you always been that way, Sweet Tooth, or did you build yourself to be that way? I know you say it depends, but everyone always has, like an 80-20 thing, kind of outlook on it. So have you always been that way or not?
Sir, I am a realistic at first because if I don't have any solution, I will just okay, maybe I just should stop this
Mm.
and then not going on. But then there is my brother and my family telling me that you don't have to be like that. Don't be realistic because you have to have a bigger dream, and that's the way they are always telling me to do something optimistically. It makes me become an optimist.
Yeah. I think people can live more positively if they're optimistic, but they do have to have reality checks depending on the situation, right? So as long as they have the reality check in the back of their head where it's not too optimistic, then it could be okay. Yeah. So, and finally, do you think the same question I asked Tomato? Do you think people are born optimistic or realistic, or is it shaped by experience?
Oh, I think it's they shaped by their experience,
Hmm.
so just
Okay.
like me.
Yeah. Because I can kind of see the way you've gone that way. Yeah. So thank you for that. Rideify, hello. Thank you so much, by the way, Sweet Tooth. Hang out on stage. You might get an opportunity to speak again. Rightify, I got a second question we're going to go through now. Nice to meet you. Are you there?
Mm. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, awesome. So I got one for you. We're going to move on to the second part of the question for this topic is, which mindset leads to this is a subjective, so there's no right answer. Tomato can't say you're wrong, as you can't say. Which mindset leads to greater success in life? Are optimists more likely to achieve their goals? Are realists better at planning and avoiding disappointment, etc.? So, what are your thoughts based on those questions there?
I think haters probably do the best. I think you need to be a pessimist. I don't know about is I feel like I heard an echo.
You cut off just a little bit, Ratify. Can you kind of repeat?
Is like being an optimist like biasing for things that make you happy, and then being a realist is having no bias. Probably has some benefit to biasing, but I think when it's not you, you gotta be a hater. I think you gotta have like some
Okay.
imagine the others are. You gotta plot others' downfall.
Okay. So, do you think that optimists are more likely to achieve their goal compared to realists? And do you think realists are better at planning and
speaking?
subjectively speaking? So, like your 2 cents, like this is like a no.
Speaking, probably the optimists do worse. It's like if you think about like poor people who tend to be like overly cheerful and happy most of the time, who biases from things they want to hear. It's going to be like people who are constantly on marijuana. It's going to be like the lower class people.
Mm-hmm.
Those are certainly the most cheerful people you'll ever meet. So probably the most optimistic people you'll meet are the least successful. But I don't know if it's linear. There might be some weird quirks there. But like I don't think this is subjective. I think you could totally measure this, right? Like you could totally like have a metric of optimism, and then you could just like do a survey.
The reason why I said subjective, because theoretically, I mean, actually, technically too, there's no there's no right or wrong answer to that. Sorry about the echo. It is what it is. I can't fix it. I don't have that option. Just deal with it. Sorry. I don't. I'm not using headphones, so I have a speaker, a Bluetooth speaker. It's just what it is. You can watch the replay without an echo. As I was trying to convey now is the reason why I say it's subjective is because, what's his name? Bill Gates will have a completely different answer than Steve Jobs. It's left brain, right brain. It's left. It's like there's no. Yes, people can like analyze it to the core, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's right or wrong. 1 + 1 will
left
always
brain,
equal
right,
2. Huh?
I hear you. But like the left brain, right brain thing you're saying as well, like brain lateralization is also like a scientific thing. Like obviously if we could define a metric of optimism, we could find like some set of scales that could assess if someone's an optimist or not. We could then just do a survey and see like on average, are optimists performing better than the pessimists?
Sure, they can do studies.
You can totally do that.
Yeah, they can. Of course, they can do studies, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the correct way. 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2. If I give you 2 red apples, you will always have 2 red apples unless you eat them up.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I just don't see the real difference between like optimism and like anxiety. Like we can define a metric for anxiety, and we can see like what correlations it has, or like what people who are anxious are they less successful. Like we could totally do that, and I don't even think you would complain there.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh yeah, anxiety causes people to perform worse on tests or something. You disagree that's true or like objectively true.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if there's like any meaningful difference between like anxiety and optimism. Like they're both like
Sure. And also the reason why I also mentioned it as it being a subjective is because when we have because you're a native like I am, right? We have ESL learners, ESL speakers, and they're like, oh my gosh, am I going to say the answer wrong? Like that's why I try to use the word subjective. I mean, we would have a different outlook on it. We might, I mean, to be honest, I'm like you, like I don't really, technically, there probably really can be scientific proven things to prove how it doesn't have to be subjective. But for the sake of getting them to speak, we got to give them the subjective mind frame because...
Yeah, so you got to like be an optimist, but like on the language itself. So,
Sure, because we have
realism,
speakers who like, oh my gosh, I'm a realist, but that might be the wrong answer. I don't want them to think that way. That's why I'm saying like,
right.
that's the reason why I'm saying like
It's like
subject.
a
Yeah, so that's the only
It's like
reason
the art of the
why
deal,
I'm
you know, there's something going on here.
yeah. So that's the only reason why I'm saying subjective. And technically speaking, a lot of things can be subjective, right? You know, but they can be
I've actually
thought.
never heard someone like,
Yeah. But let's get. I appreciate and also thank you for coming up because it gives an opportunity to hear other native speakers speak answers and hear a viewpoint outside of a teacher's point because I'm kind of not answering my own, right? Like I'm not really answering the questions really for the students. And
you
then
haven't. Are you an optimist, Mr.
you can just call me Grant. You're a native. You're a native.
Teacher Grant.
Yeah, teacher Grant. That's fine.
Okay. Mr. Grant, are you an optimist?
It's hard to say. Like I'm like a tomato. I'm like sweet tooth. Like I can kind of see it depending on the situation. I mean, let me put it this way. I tell you what I did. On the spur of the moment, within 8 months, I decided I was going to move to China. No planning at all. So I'm moving to China. I'm going to get a job there. Bingo, did it. I got a job, worked at a school for 6 years. I came back to the States. I said, I'm going to work online and teach independently. Did it. No real plan, just did it. Moved to Vietnam a year ago. Did it. So, I mean, I guess with my what I've done in my life, I guess you could say I was pretty much optimistic, but because the realistic portion of it is the fact that I didn't really plan everything through to be perfect, but I did it anyway. So I guess you can say in that sense I might be more optimistic than realistic, but I do have realism in insights, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Maybe that's just the differences of optimism, like seeing a trend that's heading in a direction that's good, versus like biasing your own perception to hear what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Because I would just say like the world in general is getting better. Like everything is getting better around you. So like if you aren't optimistic in that sense, I think you're just delusional.
Yes, I think people need to be more optimistic than realistic because that will actually help them see the broader picture and not think so critically about what's going on around their surroundings. If they think too realistically, they're not going to see the potential outcomes of what can happen. You know, they want to get a promotion, but they're afraid of talking to their boss about it. They want to get a raise. And the realistic part of their mind going, oh my God, if I go to Mr. Johnson and ask him for a raise, he might fire me. You know, that's the realism kicking in. But the optimistic kicking in and going, well, if I do talk to him, he might see that I've worked really hard and he will give me that raise. You know, so that's where the two sides fight. So, yeah.
You can't have the self-doubt, like overriding it. Okay. That's
Yeah.
very cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So, hey, yeah, appreciate you. Mr. Hitch, welcome.
Hello.
Hello. How's it
Thank
going?
you. How are you, teacher?
I'm doing fine. Yourself?
Yes, good. Wish people are good.
Yeah. And Redify, thank you so much again for coming up. And hang out, please. Go ahead, Mr. Hitch. Actually, I'd like to, because we spoke so much about the second question, I want to give you a fresh one to go for. Because I want to at least, I mean, I get through them all. But I have a third one for you guys. So the third question here is, so this is particularly about optimistic or optimism. Does optimism actually make life better? Studies say optimists live longer. Why do you think that? This is just, I guess it's general studies. Redify might know more than me. If there's been studies about that, maybe there's a source to that. I don't know if it's true or not, but so allegedly, studies have shown that optimists live longer. Why do you think that is? And have you ever met someone who was too positive to the point of just ignoring reality?
That's good. So should I start with this question or like?
Yeah. I mean, it's an all-in-one question, so it's good to probably start from the beginning and then end at the end. So I'm just reading all three questions. They're submerged together, so they're meant to be answered one after the other, but they are categorically together. If that makes sense.
So should I answer first the what am I considering myself? Like
Sure,
my
you could share that briefly.
realist?
That's fine, and then go on to the third question.
That's perfect. Okay. So personally, I think I have a mix of both. Like, I mean, I'm an optimist for my mental health and for like, I don't want to feel that like because when we talk about realism, it's kind of there is like there are no much feelings.
Mm-hmm.
It works more in like uh, kind of logical and being pragmatic when you're a realist. But in optimist, when you're an optimist, you have that feeling, and you feel that things will go like you have hope, like hopeful outcomes, and you feel good, and you think that things will go better. So for me, I think I have a mix of both, and if I need to choose one, I would say realistic more. It's kind of 60% realistic and 40 optimistic. Um,
60 and 20 you said, or 60-40 you mean?
Always my perspective. 60 is for realistic. I'm kind of realistic more.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
So and
So based on the third question, that would be interesting to give you an answer out of this. So as people have studied, or allegedly have studied, they show that optimists live longer. So why would you think that they live longer? Or why do you think that's the study they'd come up with?
so this is the result of a study. That's a fact, and I need to explain why my opinion
Yeah.
is a fact.
Yeah.
As I said before, yeah, being optimistic gives you like it gives you the hope in life, and it gets you like in a positive mode, and that's a good thing to focus about positive things in life. But just what's important in being realistic is to have plans and to have the things that are like based on facts, not just like having things that could cause you like to not to reach something that you want,
Mm-hmm.
to be disappointed of something. So I think yeah, that's why like optimistic people could live longer because they have like a good mind. They know how to see life in a good way, so don't have much stress or bad feelings about life.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
And finally, have you ever met someone who's been like so positive that they're ignoring the reality around them?
I still remember one. Yeah, one girl. It was like she was like too much positive, even that she was ignoring things that are like real. I see them personally. I was seeing them like facts, and you couldn't like you couldn't achieve them without having practical steps.
Mm-hmm.
This is how my mind thinks. So and she was like extremely positive, and yeah, I think it was a little bit different than me.
Yeah, yeah. I've met a few of those. I mean, there's one thing to be optimistic, but it's another thing to be too optimistic and too positive. Um, I think people in the and unless Redify wants to counter me, I think a lot of people can be too optimistic. And please chime in that case, and that can take them away from reality. I think it's healthy to be optimistic, but to ignore reality can become unhealthy. I wanted to go through some comments really quick, Mr. Hitch, and then if the four of you who are here, I'll go to one more question to conclude our chat.
Wait, that's ChatGPT output, but if that is a real study, I wonder if it's selection bias. Like, if you lived a long life, like, perhaps that was because those who had the better life, and therefore the better outlook, were likely to live longer because they got better access to healthcare.
Yeah.
More stress-free existence.
That's what I was going to say. I would think that if the study was conducted, it would be because of stress. Because people who might have a more realistic outlook might feel more stressed than an optimistic outlook. Oh, and
I don't know
Tomato.
if it's a real study, but supposedly
Tomato showed the
study.
study.
Like,
But it's funny with studies. It's hard to say what studies are true and not true. I mean, there's so many
No, it's
thousands of
squishy.
studies. Like it's hard to know what's real, what's not real. Um,
Well, it probably is real. Like, hold on. If it's not a ChatGPT hallucination and it actually is a study, that probably is true, right? Like, if it was published, right, its p-value is sufficiently low, right? We can be like 95% confident that it's not like a fluke result or something. But to the extent that you can make a causal inference from a correlational study, an observational study, is a little bit dubious.
yeah.
Because there probably is just a selection bias there if they're looking at lifespan.
Yeah, I think I would say like I wouldn't conclude that 100%. I would say it's possible. Like maybe I mean I don't know. Think about your circle. I mean, well we're all young, right? I'm so young. I'm 41. I feel young. But I think about the people around me. You think about the people who are older, how positive they were. Maybe I don't know if you have any great uncles or aunts that are still alive or have passed recently, and think about their mindset. Think about your I'm making it up. Your great aunt Betty who passed away at 85. Now it's gonna be really creepy if you actually had a great aunt Betty. Hopefully you did not, otherwise you'd think I'm stalking you. But you have a great aunt Betty, always positive, always healthy, always studying, loving life. And then you had an Uncle Richard who passed at 50, miserable, worked 80 hours a week, and passed away because I don't know, whatever. It could be like that. So it's all about the environment around one. So I'm not a fan of that question. But it's like I said, I don't think those studies can be. I mean, it could be studies that based on those selected people, but they cannot say, oh, the 7 billion people in the world, if you're optimistic, you're gonna live longer,
Been claiming that, right? They're not even claiming that for the sample, right? The thing is that like normies and non-college people hear the word associated and they think it means like causally connected. They're like, if X is associated with Y, and then if I increase X, Y goes up.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily true, right?
Yeah,
It could be
exactly.
the case that Y causes X, or that there's actually no connection at all between X or Y, right? The cause by a third thing Z. But normies don't know about that. They haven't thought about that yet.
I haven't thought of
And
that.
some people see, X is to Y. It may be just the case that like if you have a stress-free life, then you're going to be more optimistic, and the optimism actually has nothing to say about stress. Like it could be that, or it could be there's no connection at all, right? Like association or correlation observational studies won't get you there. But so it's not that the study is claiming something that it can't prove; it's that you're misreading the claim. But I hear you.
Yeah, I like I said, I think I agree with you 100% on that. I agree on that. Azrim is gonna come up, and I'm gonna finalize the last question because I'm tired and I want to end it because I can. Hey, by the way, Ratify, what brought you in this Discord? You don't teach in the Discord, do you?
Friends with the people who are in the vegan room.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, I know your voice sounded familiar. Okay, that's cool. All right, I'm very happy you're coming up because it helps to hear other natives' perspectives and gives them a chance to hear our articulable thoughts and thought process. Free session. You can't. You book a class on the way link I gave you. Maybe Ratify will teach you for free. I'm teasing.
Oh.
I'm teasing. I'm not being serious, guys. He won't. I don't book. There's no free sessions. You come to the sessions that I host. Sometimes they're spontaneous or impromptu, or sometimes they're planned, guys. So you just gotta check out the schedule. But I don't do free sessions. Sorry. I don't know where I said that. Did I say that? I never said that. Okay. Azrim, I'm gonna conclude our last question with this question here. I'll be a good question to conclude with. There's others in between I missed, but I don't care. What is in your opinion, what's the biggest challenge for optimists and realists? Do optimists struggle more when things don't go their way? Do realists sometimes miss out on opportunities because they focus too much on what could go wrong? What are your thoughts, Azram?
Okay. So for the first one, do optimists struggle more when things don't go their way? Yeah, I can see that happening because it's like both of these are sort of like coping mechanisms to go through life with, and we just like gravitate towards optimism or more self-preservative sort of a coping mechanism that is like realism, uh, being a realist, and when you're like taking all factors into account and all that. So they all have like their own pitfalls and things that we need to watch out for. With optimism, it's like if you're being too optimist, and then you can struggle when things don't go your way, and that can lead into like hopelessness and despair and such. And on the other hand, when it comes to like being a realist, it can be very easy to be a perfectionist and just like keep on looking and get anxious, or just focus on the things that can go wrong and that never ends, because that's life. So there needs to be a balance between the two.
All right, thank you for that. In your opinion, do you think that optimists struggle more when things don't go their way?
Yes. Um, Again, I think it's very nuanced. Generally, when we're speaking about it, maybe not, but more on the extreme ends, yes. Because in the middle of the graph, on both ends, I think it works. I think both of these approaches work.
All right. Yeah. And what about realists? Do you think they miss out on opportunities because they focus too much on what can go wrong?
Yes, that is possible. Again, I would say on both ends it can happen. Like on the extreme end of the graph, so if one is a healthy realist, they would be looking at things to a certain degree, like employ things like the 80-20 rule, focus on the 80% and let go of the 20%. So I think there's nuances between each each of these personas, and it can work depending on the person.
All right. Thank you for your wisdom and
I
thoughts.
don't think we can generalize.
Yeah. And what about you, Ezram? Are you more of an optimist or a realist?
I think I have a good balance between the two.
Okay. So it just depends on what road is being traveled on. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Final thoughts up on stage. The stage technically is still open if people want to still come up. But final thoughts overall on optimism and realism, optimistic, realistic lifestyles. I oh darn. I wanted to hear from Ratify really quick, but he left. Ratify, are you still here? Anyways, final thoughts, guys, on optimistic and realistic. All right. Guys, really quickly, I'm gonna scroll up to where I pasted some stuff here, and I want to give you guys again more information about the Discord for those who might be new or may not be new. It all just depends, I guess, right? So one more time, guys. This is the English Hub. There's a lot of places you can go to get help to improve your English. And there's a couple ways you can do that. Not much time to talk other than just to listen. So there's really no purpose. The stage is officially closed. You had your chances, guys. Sorry. So I would like to conclude with the YouTube link. You guys can, if you just got here, you can rewind and go back. If you guys want me one-on-one, you can book a class. That is what I explicitly said. Miss Hermione, I'm sorry if you misunderstood or misheard. Otherwise, do please go to the live and timestamp when I indeed said I'd give you a free class, which I did not. I said you could book a class, is what I explicitly had said. And I said Vivek and Deep would be thankful. You said earlier that you wanted someone to help you with your English. And I said I could do that, but you would need to book a class. So, also, guys, let me also give you the links again. Do you guys need those links to go to when it comes to improving your English in the Discord here? It will paste here. And oh gosh, I can't. Darn it. I'm trying to give you guys the hashtags again. So, there is a Discord channels. You can go to the English question channel, pronunciation channel, proofreading channel. Lots of places you guys can go to get the help that you need. You can also tag me in the Discord as well if you have questions, and I will do my best to answer. Mr. Hitch, optimist motivation will make them struggle, as a realist will miss opportunities due to their fear and hesitation, but I prefer missing opportunities than struggling because of my past decisions. Amen to that. Yeah. So, I think that's about it, guys. Are there any questions, guys, in the chat and the stage you have for me? If you're asking when my next class will be, I'm not sure. I will try to make it next week about the same time, but I cannot guarantee it. I could just say that's what I will hopefully. What if realist is optimistic? Well, that's a bit of both, Karth, in my opinion. People who are realistic, who have optimistic viewpoints, can be indeed both. So people who are realists can also be optimistic, and people who are optimistic can also be realist, in my opinion. So, but it is about understanding we don't need to lose. We think we don't need to lose. Yeah, lose on any side. Therefore, should try to balance both sides of the coin. Yeah. So I think it just depends on your lifestyle. You know, if you're adventurous or whatever. I'm a bit of. Are you asking me, Karth? Or asking Azram? Okay. I'm a bit of both. I guess it really depends on the situation. I mean, if something really is realistic, yeah, I mean, there are times when one has to think realistic and can't be optimistic about it, right? Like, but I think those who are one side tend to lean toward that side with a hint of the other side, if they do, you know? So it just depends, I guess. You guys can maybe take like a personality test online, I'm sure. Like, hey, are you more optimistic or are you more realistic? You know, and go from there. You know, and yeah. So, I think that's it. And by the way, guys, okay, I gave you guys the link to go to my live, so you guys can indeed go to the live and vote in the poll. I don't think anyone voted for the poll anyway. I highly doubt that happened. The poll, I only see that 3 people voted here. So, you know, I would say come on over and vote. You know, at least vote in the poll. At least give it a like. Like, that's the least you guys can do. There's 23 of you. Can go to the link, go to the live, like it, vote in the poll, and chat. Spam the chat, guys. Like, that's all I'm asking. Just spam it. You know, take 3 seconds to do that. And I'll stay live in the YouTube for a little bit, and that's about it. I'm gonna end the Discord live now, the Discord stage. But if you guys want to hang out in the YouTube live chat, there's no from what I saw in the schedule, I don't see any classes tonight, my time tonight, that are happening. The next class is happening. Let me see, guys. I don't know the time zone in your area, but the next class is happening at 7 p.m. Friday, Vietnam time. So whatever time that is on your side, and it's being hosted by, I don't know how to, by Hamburger question mark? I don't see. By I Eat Hamburgers, okay? I Eat Hamburgers, all right? Is hosting a class at 7 p.m. Vietnam time, B2 reading and use of English practice. tomorrow, 7 p.m. Vietnam time. Look at the events calendar for more information. Other than that, guys, I think I don't know. Whatever the schedule says. Whatever the schedule says. I don't know what that means. So, but you guys, it takes 2 seconds to look in the schedule thing there, and I think that's it. One more thing, guys. I do have a student from Discord who's not here tonight, I don't think. Vitaly, and he is actually studying with me. He's open to classmates to study together with him, and you can message me more for that information. The class we hold is Tuesday and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. But I can adjust the time as well to 7:45. All right. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Did you guys all vote? Did all 20 of you vote, or 19 of you vote for the poll? Only 6 votes. 6 votes. But only, how many likes? I don't know how many likes. I don't know how many likes I'm getting. Done, thank you. Is the point. Thank you, Mr. Krabs. I appreciate you. I think that's it, guys. Are there any more questions, guys? I can't think of anything. Thank you for the spamming the hearts. Thank you, guys. I'm going to end the stage. If you guys are in the live, I will do something special for you guys in the live. I might do more trivia. So if you guys are up for some trivia, I will give you guys a trivia round. Oh, Hamad, thank you. Thank you. Stick around. I will do a trivia with you guys. You guys missed the opportunity of getting the membership little button. And that was I get 10 free of those. I get 10 of those every month. But I'm not really doing anything with the memberships yet. I'm still figuring that part out, because YouTube takes 30% of the membership fees. So if I'm going to do something, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. If you guys really want the membership perks, which I don't know what I can do. You guys could tell me what you want for membership perks, and then I'll put a price on it. You guys want exclusive lives, I can do that. If you want exclusive videos, I can do that. But let me know what your thoughts are. All right, guys. I'm ending the stage, and I will go straight to the live, and that will be it. So thank you so much.
Sir.
Yes.
Have a good one, sir.
You too, sweet. I'll be in the live. I'll end the stage now. Anyone else want to join? Join, and we'll have a trivia competition. See you soon. Bye bye.
Take care.
Okay, you guys still there? Let me know if you're still in the live. Let me know. And I will do something special for you guys. Kind of, maybe. Oh yeah, I just finished. Alright, Mr. Krabs is here. Oh, you're the only one here, Krabs. So you'll be the only winner. Give me a second. I'm gonna get a beverage, okay? I'm gonna get a beverage. I was thinking I might play a game. How about that? Might play a game. But I'm not sure what game to play. I think I'm playing Rebirth. The Final Fantasy Rebirth. I want to play Rebirth. You know, Final Fantasy Rebirth. How about that? But I really want an audience to play for it. So it kind of sucks. But actually, what I'm gonna do now, actually, is I think I might. Actually, Mr. Krabs, if you're still here, Mr. Krabs, I could. Mr. Krabs, are you in Discord, by the way? Not sure. I'm trying to figure out if I need to restart my live. Should I restart my live? Should I restart it and play a game in about 30 minutes? I want to get a bite to eat. So I should restart. Or you're telling me you're in the Discord, right? Oh, Mr. Hitch, got it. Okay, I like it, Mr. Krabs, Mr. Hitch. So should I restart the live, or should I want to take a small break, go outside, get a small bite to eat. It's just a market right downstairs, and I want to get a bite. So should I like leave it like it is, and I'll play some music that is allegedly copyright free, or should I start the live again? What should I do? If I start the live again, the algorithm will start over again. So I could do that. What do you think I should do, guys? All right. Okay. I think I'll do that. So I think I will do that. I will end this live, and then I will regenerate another live in about. I'll have it set, and then I'm gonna I'll go live, maybe play some Rebirth, and restart it later. Or I could do like a trivia round or something. I haven't decided yet. And the only reason why I'm doing a vertical live is because I get the most viewers that way. Like right now we have 4 people watching, supposedly. So, but I'm thinking I will. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that, guys. I'm going to end the live stream and try to get this to go out further. So I will do that now. So I'm gonna end it, guys. I'll be back in 30 or so minutes. See you soon, guys. See you soon.